2018 campaign. A 40-minute timed race or 25 laps, whichever comes first. Keep an eye on both. Hopefully we can get through turn number 1 cleanly. A bump at the exit of turn number 1, another. Turns 2 and 3. The field now making their way through that very short complex, the slowest portion of the course. Turns 4, there's 5. They'll roll out of that, turn 6, and then turn 7. They'll mash the accelerator, then to turn 8. That is the north end of the track at Pioneer Park. There you see back to turn number 8. There is the entrance to turn number 9. A very quick corner. The cars will slide out. There you see it. That was the shot from 7 to 8. There is 8 into turn number 9. It will slide out, try to keep the machines off the wall. Then the long drive down Bayshore to the hard-braking turn number 10. The field now beginning to line up 2 abreast. 8 rows making up this field, 16 machines. The kickoff to the 2018 Pro Mazda campaign just about to get underway. Rob Howden joins us back in the PA booth. Rob, let's get things rolling.
I think I just topped 10,000 steps for the day. The last 1,000 were running.
Well done.
We are set to go. The Pro Mazda drivers will go 2 by 2. The second rung of the Mazda Road to Indy, presented by Cooper Tires. And indeed, as Michael said, we're going to go green this time by Askew, Thompson. Green, green, green. Racing down into 1. Here comes Cunha. There goes Harrison Scott. We are 4 wide into turn number 1. Scott's going to blow through. What a big surprise. Scott all the way through turn number 1. Harrison Scott did what everybody does here as a rookie at the Grand Prix of St. Petersburg. Michael, they blow through turn number 1, trying to go to the bottom of the racetrack.
Those eyes get so big, Rob Howden, and you get down to brake, everything closes up. Harrison Scott had to miss the entrance to turn number 1. That will shovel him back to the field, but we have battles all the way through turns 4, 5, 6, and 7.
Contact there for one of the Pelfrey cars. One driver trying to go deep to the inside. That is going to be the number 80, I believe, of Rafa Martins. He got, I think that was turn number 4 or 5, I believe. That was turn 4. Driver trying to go up inside, got right into the right rear of Martins. We are going to go yellow for sure. It has not yet come out, but I would not be surprised if we go yellow. There's another battle further back. Yes, full course yellow, I'm being told. Michael, a couple of issues here. Opening lap of what is supposed to be a scheduled 25 of drivers not showing patience. Harrison Scott overcooks it down into the inside of turn 1. We've seen that so many times. Drivers dive into the bottom, thinking they have a room down there. It's dirty. Nobody's driven there. There's paint down there. He went blue straight off. And then, of course, you have a driver getting into the back.
But the key is Oliver Askew. Let's see Oliver Askew now falling through the running order. He will drop to 6th position at the start. So Oliver had the pole position. Parker Thompson on the outside. We saw Carlos Cunha swing to the outside. Here's the replay as we go to the video screens, and then you'll see the machine.
This is the contact in 4. Driver coming down the inside, asking a little too much. I think that was one of the Junco's cars potentially. Right. We're trying to see if we can get a better look at which driver that was who came through. Tough one to see. We need to go back and see that replay one more time to try to get a number on that driver.
I would say,
let's have a look at that again.
So Martins down there, indeed, one of the looked like one of the Junco's cars up on the curbing.
Potentially one of the BN cars as well. Could have been Chris Wright down there as well.
Got up on that curbing in turn number 5, and when he hit that curb, it kicked him out. There it is. You'll see one of the machines.
Yeah, that's just, you know what, there's just not, that's Oliver Askew right in front of him. No, that's definitely one of the, I think that's going to be one of the Junco's cars potentially getting in there. It obviously checked everybody up. Oliver Askew started pole, was all the way back there as well. So that corner, I think what happened really, everybody had to check up because Harrison Scott went into turn 1 so aggressively. Everybody was on the brakes early. When you see someone coming through there, the dust flying in the air, he just locked the brakes up and went absolutely straight through. Now, we may see who it is if there's anybody else that comes into the pit lane, as we've said, Michael, with damage, because there was definite right front to left rear contact. Rafa Martins not getting off to the start he wanted, the driver out of Brazil.
The only person I'm thinking potentially it could have been, well, Robert McGinnis was at the front of the field, but it did look like one of the Junco's racing machines. But in any case, if we could potentially see a start replay of the start of this race as well. They went 4 wide. Cunha goes to the outside of Parker Thompson. Oliver Askew on the pole. And then we saw the machine of Harrison Scott dive to the inside. So now they're going 4 wide. And once they get to the entrance of turn 1, it just swallows up, and Scott had to punch through the...
I get the understanding that swallows up on the exit. It doesn't swallow up on the entry. It's just, he sees the opening. Oliver Askew is not going to pinch to the inside because there's absolutely no grip down there. He's got to stay on the very edge of what essentially would be the racing line. If he goes down to the bottom of the block, he's going to go through. Harrison Scott just did that one thing we've seen driver after driver do. Kalen Frederick just did it in the USF 2000 race. You see that big wide hole in the bottom of turn 1. I'm doing this. I'm going to the lead. I'm going to win this race. And you get down there, you roll the brakes on, and there's just no grip on the tires. Remember, brakes slow the car, but you have to have the friction from the tires to actually slow the car. The brakes slow the wheels. They don't slow the car. And there was absolutely no grip on the tires when he was rolling on the brakes there.
When we saw Harrison Scott dive down to the wall, you could see the debris of the wall and all of the dirt that was down there. Let's take a look at the video screens. Here is a replay of the start of the race. There you see Carlos Cunha swing to the outside.
Good move for him.
Yes, it was a great move for him. To the inside moves Harrison Scott. And as we go to turn number 1, you'll see Scott down there. You can see all of the debris kicking up, as you said.
Well, look, you can see Oliver Askew's trying to hold him down there. He's on the yellow, the white painted lines. There's absolutely no grip. And that's Oliver. What happened there was Harrison Scott went down the inside. He's fully on the white. Oliver's trying to pinch him down. He's fully on the white. So both drivers on the inside line, one trying to be attacking, one trying to be defending. They both drive straight through the apex.
I think they.
I've never seen that before here.
And in one of those situations, Scott had no grip, so Oliver's trying to outbrake him, and he realized it's way too late. So he missed the entrance to turn number 1 as well. It will make for an interesting green flag when we go back to green.
Well, for Oliver, I think it just got better of him. You know, he goes down to that. Here's a guy that won the USF 2000 championship last year. He's really strong on the starts. I believe we're going to get 1 to go this time by. I think we're going to go back around one more time. So we got a little time to chat about this. Oliver's there. He's got the lead. He's looking in the left side mirror, and he sees that he doesn't really have Parker Thompson in the mirror because he's essentially alongside, but he can feel Harrison Scott coming up the inside. And it just, you know what? You're trying to set your braking zone based on where you think you need to stop. He's going in so deep. And I really think Oliver probably reset what he thought he had to do. He got on the brakes just as late. He was trying to defend when he probably could have just checked up, let him go through and dive down the inside. That's not something you would normally see at Oliver Askew.
The 2 big winners out of this, Rinus VK and Stingray Robb, as they move up from the middle part of the field. Robb started on the outside of row number 3, VK on the outside of row number 4. VK now 3rd, Stingray Robb now 4th. So some big moves for those drivers, and Oliver Askew sitting back there in 6th. And in one turn, he goes from pole position now down to 6th place, knows he has a fast car. He's had these couple of caution laps to regroup, but he knows he needs to get after it here.
Well, first and foremost, they're on the radio right now. The Cape brothers are on the radio with Oliver Askew saying, okay, just calm down, take it easy, you overcooked it, we're good, you're 6th. Now remember, he was the fastest driver, he's on pole. He's not faster than everybody. It's unbelievably close in this category. You know, they're the top 5-6 drivers within 0.4 of a second, so it's not like he's got the speed to work forward and pass them all. Now he's gonna be up on the wheel and going to try to make that happen. We have still a full race distance to go. We're probably going to have 20 laps remaining if we don't bump up against the time limit. But at this point here, you got a veteran, 3rd year. This is 4th year in the series for Parker Thompson. This kid is a cool customer. We know that. He's going to be able to handle this lead. He's got a guy behind him, Robert McGinnis, has only won once before, and that was here last year.
Looking back at the start of this, I believe that might have been Carlos Cunha that had contact with Rafa Martins because Cunha had been falling back right behind Askew. They followed each other, and that potentially was the contact in turn 5.
And there it is. He's right there. Right. He's seeing the leaders pull away. He's got Martins in front of him. Throw it in there. Drivers working their way out of 14. We will go back to green flag racing with the Pro Mazda Championship, and away we go. Green, green, green. Good start for Parker Thompson. The number 9 of McGinnis going to try to hold VK to the inside. Rinus VK around the outside. He's going to try to go for the lead. VK tried to get the lead away from Parker Thompson. but Renus VK gets a better jump on McGinnis. He goes around the outside of turn number 1. So count Renus VK up to P2 as the Juncos Racing drivers run second and third. It's the exclusive Autosport driver, though, the Canadian Parker Thompson, to P1.
What a great restart for Renus VK. Got around the outside of Robert McGinnis, tried to attack Parker Thompson on the outside, but then things get very narrow there at turn number 2. So he shuffles back in behind Parker Thompson. Renus VK on the charge, though. They make their way out of turn number 9. The kink there. Now down to turn number 10. Parker Thompson with the lead.
The issue to watch out for now, these tires not fully up to operating temperature. These drivers have to skate these cars around. They set them up to come in a little later on in the race. They're always not fantastic from the get-go. You need tire pressures to be good later on in the race. So right now, these drivers really having to handle these cars, and we'll see what kind of a run Parker Thompson gets coming out of turn number 14. He'll build about 3 or 4 car lengths coming down the straightaway as everyone else lining up. It's Parker Thompson, your leader. McGinnis in second. VK in second. McGinnis now runs in third. VK right up onto the gearbox of Parker Thompson.
Oliver Askew around Gutierrez. Nice move by Oliver Askew. Set him up about midway point down the front straightaway, so move Oliver Askew to the 5th position.
Here's your top 10. Thompson, VK, McGinnis, Robin Askew, your top 5. Gutierrez 6th, Listoshkin 7th, Lorini 8th, Cunha in 9th, and Malukas in 10th. Again, Harrison Scott was able to continue after going off at turn number 1. He slots into 12th, so keep an eye on Harrison Scott in that number 10 machine. He'll try to work his way back forward as well, methodically picking his way every corner possible. Still a long way to go, 19 laps remaining.
Renus VK, very hungry, all over the rear wing of Parker Thompson, completing lap 6 of this 25-lap race. Or time, 30 minutes remaining. Here the field comes out of turn 13 and 14. Parker Thompson down low. Renus VK swings wide. About 3 car lengths back is Renus VK from Parker Thompson.
Oliver Askew got a big run through 14 and tried to get under the gearbox of Stingray. Rob pushed wide on the exit. That means he's going to lose that exit speed he needs. Parker Thompson still holding back. Renus VK, he turns fast lap of the race, a 1:10.038. We're going to see fast lap after fast lap as they start to build heat into these Cooper tires. Drivers doing a good job, though, through these technical parts of the racetrack. 1, 2, 3, and 4, such tight racing. Then it packs back up for 5, 6, and 7, 8, and 9. Michael winds it back up for that run down to turn number 10.
Harrison Scott potentially flat spotting those tires. Your thought on that? I mean, he locked them up, so he's currently running in the 12th position. May be difficult for him to make up a lot of ground.
If you look at lap times right now, again, he's behind David Malukas, who's about a half a second more slower than he is, so he's checked up a bit. Well, there's no doubt he flat spotted those tires. He locked them up. You know, it was a good 400-yard lockup. So he's got work to do. There's going to be a vibration in that car. He'll do the best he can. If he can work his way back up into the top 10, I think Harrison Scott would be happy. Remember, winning here at St. Petersburg does not guarantee you a championship, but a bad finish can definitely hurt you. We'll watch Harrison Scott going to work on David Malukas.
Battle further back in the field. Carlos Cunha trying to get around the King Listoshkin. Cunha looks to the outside of Listoshkin. Near contact at turn number 1. Cunha gets around.
Beautiful pass for Carlos Cunha. Michael called it all the way down the straightaway. Got deep into the braking zone, pulled the outside. And once you get to the outside, if you're deep enough, you can get maybe a half a car length, you're able to turn in and you've got that position, because turn number 2, that 2-3 kind of combinations, 2s to a certain extent, you've got that room where you have the inside of that corner.
Yeah, you get that advantage there at 2, and then you really have to get single file. You can't race too wide through turns 2 and 3.
Again, Parker Thompson trying to put these laps down, 7/10 to the second, the lead for Thompson. Again, his 4th year here in the Mazda Road to Indy, presented by Cooper Tires, the talented and very well-spoken driver from Red Deer, Alberta. Running for Exclusive Autosports this year, a team that is making its debut in the Pro Mazda Championship. Did the same thing last year in USF 2000. Took him about half the year to get things dialed in. And once they had everything perfect, he went out and swept the weekend in Toronto. This kid has the talent to be able to do it, and he's stretching away now as the leader. Another fast lap for Parker Thompson. 108.770. Thompson, your leader. VK second, McGinnis third.
Well, Carlos Cunha trying to go at it again, trying to get around the machine of Andres Gutierrez, unable to do it down into turn number 1, but he really closed in about a car length behind Gutierrez.
Going to keep an eye on this battle as well. Oliver Askew now to within about 0.6 of a second from Stingray Rob. Rob driving the number 8 Team Pelfrey car. You can see right there, they just shot through the screen as Askew within maybe, 3 or 4 car lengths now. Trying to, again, set things up, get the car to settle in. You got a good feel. Again, the first couple laps, these drivers are just feeling what the grip level's like. They're coming on the track right after the Verizon IndyCar Series. All that Firestone rubber down, so much different for these guys on Coopers.
It's interesting, as we had a quick look, I believe that was Oliver Askew looking to the outside of Stingray Robb. Indeed, Oliver Askew on the charge. Great battle between turns 11 and 12, now working its way through turn number 13. Oliver Askew wanting position number 4 from Stingray Robb.
I like this battle. That's the final, the 2 final positions inside the top 5. Stingray doing a good job in that carbon fiber black number 82. Definitely Carlos Cunha closing up on Andres Gutierrez as well in the carbon fiber black number 81. Those are the Team Pelfrey cars. Cunha last time by, actually about a 1/10 of a second off. His quick lap quicker, I think, than Gutierrez, but not quite enough at this point here to close up. Still just 2/10 of a second off. He's just trying to kind of settle in and see what Gutierrez has got. He's got to go to work here now trying to figure out what it is.
Did you see Cunha nearly have contact in there as he tried to get around Gutierrez in turns 4 and 5? They nearly went too wide. Let's see if they make it through. There's Cunha right behind Gutierrez.
Gutierrez still with the position. You're right, getting aggressive there further back. That is now 6th, 7th, and 8th. As Nikita Listowski just about a second back getting a good look at the battle. There's your leaders coming through the top 5. There's 3rd, 4th, and 5th once again. Oh, there's that battle there. Here they come. I'll tell you. Carlos Cunha in the number 1 going to work now here on Gutierrez in the number 81, Michael. This is good racing here, and that's, Mike, the battle for the 6th position.
Yes, indeed. Carlos Cunha very aggressive down at turns 4 and 5. Thought to take it too wide. Carlos Cunha trying to close in on Andre Gutierrez. Here's the move to the inside of the start-finish line. Cunha drops to the outside, trying to get around Gutierrez. Gutierrez holds him off. No. Cunha makes the pass going into 2, but they're still side by side.
Oh, wow. That was an epic battle coming through turn number 1. Cunha tries it again. I believe he has made it stick. Indeed, he has. And guess who's arrived on the scene? Nikita Listowski right there as well. Listowski 8th. Cunha now up to 6th. Gutierrez. Oh, there's a driver going on. That's Raven. James Raven overcooks it. That's turn number 4, I believe, Michael. Turn 4, Raven overcooks it going in as he's trying to close up on Listowski. That is 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and now 10th, 11th there as well as Harrison Scott. Hello, Harrison Scott. Welcome back to the battle.
As everything happened and unfolded, everything got slowed down. So Raven gets in there thinking, man, I have an opportunity to pass here. And when he did that, he blew right through turn number 4.
You know, you're just trying to step up your game. You're running with some really fast guys. Raven qualified a little further back. He was running in the 9th position. Definitely going to lose at least 1 spot.
Well, you can tell. Here comes Oliver Askew for the 5th position. And there's Cunha that has really separated itself as Carlos Cunha now pulls away from the 81 machine of Gutierrez.
Parker Thompson's lead now 1.7 seconds. He's settled into a nice little rhythm here, 108.7, 2 to 3/10 of a second faster than Rinus VK. You know, Parker Thompson, you give him a lead like this, I think the experience he's had, the confidence he has in exclusive autosport, he can bang those laps down.
Nice pass there. Looks to the inside, then to the outside. Lost where that was in that battle as they worked their way through turns 4, 5, and 6.
I want to say that's Listowski, I think, battling in there. That's Nikita Listowski in the Cape Motorsports number 8. It's tough to pick them both out. Listowski in that 8 ball for Cape Motorsports, the white car. His teammate running, of course, the Soul Red. That's Oliver Askew.
So we'll keep our eyes on the field. They're working their way down through the kink now to turn number 10. Did Nikita Listowski get an opportunity to get around Gutierrez? There's the shot back to turn number 10. We talk about swinging so wide. You see how they come so close to that exit of the turn 10 wall.
Well, if you're going to be fast, you have to do that. The thing about this racetrack is you got to hang it out in every corner. Stingray Robb actually just set the fast lap of the race in lap number 4, a 108.5. He's 3/10 of a second quicker than the leader, Parker Thompson, right now, but Thompson with a 2.6 second advantage. However, Robb's fast lap allowing him to pull away a little bit here from Oliver Askew.
So the Nikita Listowski drops down to 9th. Malukas now up to the 8th position, so a lot of shuffling right there.
Yeah, last lap, I think Listowski had some issues. I don't know if he went wide somewhere because he lost a couple of seconds.
I think it was right there when we saw that too wide battle going into that 4, 5, 6, 7 complex.
battle up front, not so huge. Of course, Thompson has a bit of a lead right now. VK's got about a half a second on McGinnis. McGinnis again, a half a second on Rob. It's this battle for 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th where they're all getting ready to fight for it. We're seeing it here on the big screens, and of course, you're watching it as well on roadtoindy.tv or the Road to Indy TV app. We hope you're enjoying it. This is the second rung of the Mazda Road to Indy presented by Cooper Tires. Pro Mazda, 280 horsepower, brand new Titus PM18 race car, and people are loving it. Parker Thompson, the young Canadian driver. I say young, but 21 years of age now. He's got his 4th year here on the Mazda Road to Indy. Here's that battle we're watching. Coming down to the inside. That's further back. I think that's Gutierrez.
And Malukas.
Wow, good side-by-side crisscross racing there.
Malukas had it for a second, then had to give it back.
I think Malukas got the inside run, but again, so dirty down at the bottom of the racetrack. Gutierrez has crowded him down. Got a little too deep, rolled him through, and Gutierrez doing the old over-under. And that's, if somebody pushes you deep to the inside, that's really your only move. If he's able to make it stick, you've lost the spot. If they go too deep, lock the brakes up and push through, you got to wait for them to go by and then turn in. You brake a little earlier knowing that you can turn in and get a better run out of the corner. Thompson, DK, McGinnis, Rob, and Askew, your top 5. Cunha, Gutierrez, Malukas, Listoshkin, and Scott now top 10. Oh, we got a driver off in turn 8, Michael. A driver has hit the wall coming through turn number 8 on the exit of turn number 8. We're going to go full course yellow. I haven't seen it yet, but I bet we go full course. Paul Blevins.
Paul's got the yellow flag in his hand.
That's a driver off right there.
Yeah, right at the...
That is turn 8, I believe.
Yeah, exit of turn number 8.
Hard to pick up which car that may be from here.
Well, we'll find out in a hurry as the field makes their way down the front straightaway.
I want to say James Raven.
May have been.
I'm trying to pick the colors up, but being color deficient, I'm not very good at it. James Raven, I think.
Because I know Charles Finelli, and now we have a full course caution. There's Charles Finelli and James Raven. Indeed, the car, the exit of turn number 8, that short little run between the turn 8 and 9 complex at Pioneer Park, just broke too late and got that left front end. Here.
We're going to have a little look at one of those fantastic passes we saw earlier, the battle, I believe, between Gutierrez and Malukas. But I'll tell you, before we get to that, yeah, here we go. See, here's that pass. Here is Malukas to the inside, got the position. In fact, he's in the racing line, but look how deep he goes. The car's starting to rotate as he gets on the brakes, just locked up the left front, or right front rather. And he didn't push that far wide. No. Gutierrez doing a good job to get back in, but Malukas right on the edge of it, he's for sure.
Oh, about Andre Gutierrez there, he just kind of let him take himself in and let him make that mistake, and he was ready for it and pounce. He didn't follow him in too far. That was a good
I thought the Gutierrez had pushed him down. You and I are watching it here live from where we are here, essentially right at start-finish. And wow, what a push down there. But you know what? The guy that's got to feel bad about this deal is Parker Thompson. Essentially a 3-second lead goes by the wayside. Perfect timing right now. We got 9 laps left. We're going to take a little while before we get this cleaned up. I got Kyle Kimball from Mazda Motorsports with me. Kyle, number 1, first off, great to have you with us. Number 2, thank you again on behalf of Motorsports, young drivers everywhere, for the opportunities that get afforded to us and these drivers by Mazda Motorsports. The stuff you guys do, the pride you must have in the drivers you have essentially sent to the Verizon IndyCar Series must be immense.
Well, it's a pleasure to sit here and give you and Michael a chance to catch your breath. I mean, this is incredible. I was standing down on pit lane as the race went green, and I felt myself almost feeling like it was an Indy Lights race because the pressure and the talent that is in this Pro Mazda series this year is unbelievable. And you're seeing it out on track as through 16 laps, it's been nonstop action out there. And appreciate the kind words, Rob. It means so much to us to have the title sponsor on the Road to Indy presented by Cooper Tires. And we are just amazed every single time these young men and women get in these cars, what they're able to do. And we couldn't be more proud to provide the scholarships and some of the funding and the sponsorship to advance their careers all the way up to the Verizon IndyCar Series.
You know, we'll go right off that into Kyle Kaiser. We've seen these drivers come through, whether it was Spencer Pigot or Ed Jones, Gabby Chavez, who have now become these stars in the Verizon IndyCar Series. Kyle Kaiser's going to get his shot this year. Did an amazing job last year. Consistency, winning races, able to get the championship at Watkins Glen. Again, another one of the Mazda kids, you know, one of your graduates that's going to be in the Indianapolis 500 this year. Talk a little bit about Kyle Kaiser and how proud you are to have him in the 500 this year.
It's incredible when we look back at how Kyle Kaiser matured.
Yeah.
in
Right.
and out of the race car. And that's something that we push so hard on the Mazda Road to Indy is obviously the talent inside the car is extremely important. You have to win races. Hopefully you can win championships to move up. But outside of the car, you need to build yourself as a person to be able to talk to sponsors, be able to talk to teams, build your racecraft, be able to talk to your engineers. So what we saw last year in Kyle Kaiser, he wasn't always the fastest at the beginning of the season, but he just was consistent.
Yeah.
And in his maturation outside of the car, he's just a wonderful, wonderful young man, and we could not be more proud to see him rise through the ranks and into the Verizon IndyCar Series.
Kyle, you used two words. I was thinking craft, and I was thinking maturation, and that's something I think at the beginning of the season when Kyle first came to us in Indy Lights. You watched him through his career, but you could really tell how he grew. He really grew a lot last year. At the midpoint of the season, you could really see him in the championships, all that in the making, right about the midpoint of the season.
Absolutely. It was incredible because we've seen it before. We've all seen it, right? Where if the first part of your season doesn't go exactly to plan and you're not winning races, it can all just start to crumble. And Kyle didn't allow that to happen. And credit to the Juncos team, credit to everybody on the Mazda Road to Indy that oversaw his career. And it's so cool to see these guys on the top step of IndyCar.
Using this yellow flag right now to get a chance to talk to Kyle Kimball from Mazda Motorsports. We will be going back to green this time. By one more thing before we do it, Kyle, the new PM18 Tatis car. We got a brand new race car in Pro Mazda, a new Mazda power plant. Really excited to see this car finally go wheel to wheel.
It's unbelievable. Anderson Promotions, Dan Anderson, their entire team, the team at Tatis, Steve Knapp, Elite Engines, this package, this is where you want to be if you want to go to the Verizon IndyCar Series, USF 2000 Pro Mazda, then Indy Lights.
Kyle Kimball laid it down there for you. That's it. That's that whole Mazda Road to Indy. Folks, we are ready to go for what will be an when they come back around, it is going to be a 7-lap battle to the very end of the race. Here they come once again. Parker Thompson, your leader. Rinus VeeKay second. And it'll be Rob McGinnis at third. He's going to have to hold him off coming down to turn number 1. We're back at it. Flags are flying. Green, green, green. Thompson to the bottom of the racetrack. Here comes Rinus VeeKay. He'll go to the outside. Thompson will be able to move him back out a little bit. They'll come to turn number 1. Thompson doing a good job getting through cleanly. VeeKay back to the inside as they work their way over to turn number 2.
That's Malukas and I believe the Gutierrez machine battling in the back of the field as well. They went too wide through turns number 2 and 3. That battle settles down. I thought Rinus VeeKay was going to be able to make that move, and indeed
he does.
Yes,
He's
does.
through.
He is.
He's
through.
actually through. Rinus VeeKay through to take the lead. They're stacking him up behind him. Parker Thompson got to get back up on the wheel because McGinnis is going to work. McGinnis is right there. Stingray Robb, Oliver Askew, Carlos Cunha, Andres Gutierrez, and David Malukas, top 8 drivers right there. Rinus VeeKay able to get back underneath as they came through turn number 1. He beat him over to turn 2 and over to turn 3. New leader here on the restart, Rinus VeeKay.
Parker Thompson laying back about 6 car lengths now, you see, as Rinus VeeKay. And you could tell VeeKay was really just waiting for Parker Thompson to get on that accelerator. He set him up and did a great job down into turn number 1. So Rinus VeeKay, your leader, Parker Thompson, then it's Robert McGinnis.
Here's what I think is key, Michael. Parker Thompson was the fastest driver on the racetrack the entire race. He's been quicker than VeeKay. He continued to pull away. Now it's time for Thompson to do that again. If he wants to retake this lead, he's going to lay the lap down. He's going to go back to where he was. He can't settle into second. He can't think about Robert McGinnis. He's got to turn those same lap times he did before the yellow flag and reel in VeeKay and go back to work. This is now on all Parker Thompson because VeeKay is just going to try to set the mark.
Carlos Cunha around Stingray Robb, so move Carlos Cunha to P4. VeeKay Thompson, McGinnis, Cunha, Stingray Robb. We will get this in as far as laps go. It will not be a timed race if we can keep it green. This field doing a great job through turn number 10.
I don't know if I just saw potentially Oliver Askew tap the wall coming through turns number 9 and 10, or 8 and 9 rather, that double right-hander. He got real wide coming out, potentially could have tapped the wall on the exit, but look at Juncos Racing. 1st, 3rd, and 4th. A couple of the top drivers from USF 2000 last year, joining Cunha, who has a full year of Pro Mazda already under the belt. Parker Thompson has that young rookie Antonio Serravalle with him. He's back in the 12th position, but right now Parker Thompson all alone. Now we'll start looking at lap times. Who is going to be quick this time by? Parker Thompson slower by about 0.2 of a second, but he's been able to build that gap on McGinnis, and that's what's going to help Thompson. As long as he's got that gap back, he's going to be okay. battle further back. That's Nikita Listoshin in the number 8 for Cape Motorsports, trying to find a way by Gutierrez. I think Harrison Scott's right in there, too.
I thought Harrison Scott was right in there as well, trying to make his move back through the field. He started on the inside of row number 2, fell back at the, we've forgotten all about the beginning of this race. I mean, Harrison Scott falling back and Oliver Askew's falling back. Oliver really has kind of lost a little touch there. I think even the middle portion of this race wasn't really attacking as much, but Carlos Cunha has really come to light the latter portion of this race.
I have a sneaking feeling for Oliver Askew that after going straight off, full lockup, he's just thinking, man, recovery, I could have been in the wall.
Right.
I'm not. How about I just grab 5th place points, not worry about it? Remember, he won a championship last year. He didn't win the first race of the year. That was Robert McGinnis. So I don't think I think he's probably settling in a little bit here, seeing what the car will do. They're all turning 109s. He's still a 110. But now we got to see if Parker Thompson can close back up. Both drivers turning 109 flat, so the gap now 1.4 seconds. But Thompson slowly starting to get a bit quicker. He was a little quicker, a half a tenth quicker last time by. Thompson now with 4 laps to go, trying to get back up on Rinus VeeKay again. Starting the season, I don't care if you win or not. It doesn't always equate to a championship. If you're on the podium, you've done your job in the opening round here at St. Petersburg.
Ricardo Junco's I would imagine will be a tad bit nervous as Carlos Cunha getting hungry to get around his teammate Robert McGinnis. He closed into about a car length down the front straightaway. That's the battle for 3rd and 4th. Carlos Cunha in 4th, McGinnis 3rd. Great battle as the field works their way down into turn number 10. Heavy braking area for the field. VeeKay, Thompson, McGinnis, Cunha, and Askew.
I'll tell you one thing to watch out here for as well is Harrison Scott starting to close up on Nikita Listoshin quicker last time by, and that's that battle to try to work back up into the top 8. Scott, of course, off the racetrack over in turn number 1 on the start. Here come the leaders onto the front straightaway. It'll be 3 laps to go this time by. We still have lots of time, 10 minutes. So this is the battle between 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Still a big gap between 1st and 2nd. This time by Askew quicker, rather Thompson quicker by 0.3 of a second. He gets it down to 1.2 with 3 laps to go. Parker Thompson is closing. He made up about 0.2 of a second, a little more. He's going to need a lot more of these last couple of laps. Parker Thompson not yet done. Looking at closing up here, Michael. And a little brake lock there as well from McGinnis going in to turn number 4.
Great battle there, not only between VeeKay and Thompson, but McGinnis, Cunha, Askew, and Rob. Those 4 cars are right there together. So a battle for the lead, a battle for 3rd, as we see Oliver Askew closing in on the rear wing of Carlos Cunha.
I'm going to tell you, it's been 5 years since we brought the Pro Mazda Championship into this whole Mazda Road to Indy, and this may be the best field we've ever had in terms of talent in this category. Anybody here in the top 10, 11 drivers could win a race here this year. That's how good it is here in Pro Mazda. Right now, the gap, 1.2 seconds. We're going to see if Parker Thompson's closed it down at all. Visibly, it looks like he has, but we'll look at lap times. A 1:08.7 last time by for Parker Thompson. Is he closer this time? We'll wait for those lap times to pop up here for us. And with 1.2, it's less than a second right now.
Wow.
Thompson quicker again. He has got it down to 0.9 of a second. 2 laps to go. Rinus VeeKay, again, a 1:09 flat. Thompson, 1:08.7. He'll need to set a fast lap of the race here if he wants to close up. But Parker Thompson making it very exciting over the final circuits here. The opening race of the doubleheader for Pro Mazda.
Couple of great battles. We're watching VeeKay. He is your leader. Parker Thompson trying to get it from him. Then it's Robert McGinnis, Cunha Askew, and Stingray Rob. Oliver Askew started on the pole, fell back to about 6th position, now battling, trying to get that 4th position back. A very tight battle for 3rd through 6th, and again, that battle for the lead. Parker Thompson has it down to less than a second.
The funny thing is these last couple of laps, does the switch go off in a driver's head where I'll just stay where I am? They always want more, but sooner or later you say, hey, you know what, 3rd or 4th isn't bad. Maybe I'll just hold on here. Maybe I won't try that bonsai move. It doesn't always happen with a race car driver, but when it does, they start getting good finishes.
Wow, Stingray Rob got a nice move out of the final turn. Maybe have enough to get around Oliver Askew. No, it's about a 2-car length gap, so that settles down.
Rinus VeeKay pulls it out when he needs to, does a 1:08.93. Pretty good run there for Rinus VeeKay. His fast lap, a 1:08.8. He just did a 1:08.9. He found another couple of tenths of a second. Thompson's still there at 1:08.9, as was McGinnis. This one looks like it's going to be Rinus VeeKay. He's going to try to win here, but look how close they are coming through the infield section of the racetrack. They get into the tight stuff. Parker Thompson has closed right up. Probably about 4 car lengths as they work their way out of turns number 8 and 9. Here's that run down. What do you think, Michael?
Well, Robert McGinnis, he's happy, I think, because they're battling. It's Cunha, Askew, and Rob. Parker Thompson there as well.
They'll work their way on the last part of the racetrack through turn 10, a very tough part of the track. They're clean out there. Both drivers clean. Parker Thompson knows he's got a hot rod. This is going to be an unbelievable season of Pro Mazda racing. The two drivers who battled it out last year, along with Oliver Askew. Here they come onto the front straightaway. Last lap, check it. Oh, white flag.
White flag.
We got a white flag. Here we go.
Flag.
Oh, no. What do we got for lap times? Michael. 1:08.9. 1:08.9. 1:08.5 for Parker Thompson. 1:08.59. Parker Thompson to within a half a second. He was quicker by 4/10. He was so good in the second half of that track.
And that's the thing. I think VK's good on one end, Parker Thompson's good on another. McGinnis is kind of by himself. Cunha, Askew, and Rob. Askew and Rob are good on this front portion of the track, and then Cunha gets good at the very tail end of this circuit. There's so many battles on here. Very first race of the season. I can't imagine what the rest of the season will have in store for us.
Parker Thompson to within about 3 or 4 car lengths. They'll come through that kink, leading their way over to turn number 10. That's a hard braking zone. You can't make any mistakes coming out of that corner. They're through cleanly at this point here. It is maybe 2 car lengths as they come out. This is the final lap. White flag was given by Paul Blevin last time by. They'll come up here to turn 13 and 14. Renus VK trying to win here. Look at Thompson. Look how close he is. Coming out of the final corner. Are we going to get a drag race? We are not. The winner of the first race at Pro Mazda for 2018, Renus VK. Parker Thompson in second. Robert McGinnis in third. Carlos Cunha fourth. Oliver Askew fifth. Stingray Robb in sixth. David Maluka seventh. Nikita Listochkin eighth. Harrison Scott in ninth. And Ludovico Lorini rounding out your top 10. Michael, what did you think about those last couple of laps? I really thought Parker was going to make it. He had such a good run coming out to get the white flag from Paul Blevins. Just, you look at the last lap. He goes quicker, but again, VK able to do just enough to hold him back.
And he was in control. Renus on that restart, and that was the key. Parker Thompson in the lead, and Renus VK was able to stalk him through turn 14. And when the green flag came out, he was able to set himself, make that turn just past turn number 1, and make that pass, I should say, into turns number 2 and 3. The move of the race by far, but was just able to keep him at bay. But great battles all the way back to the field. Robert McGinnis third, but that Cunha, Askew, Rob battle, and remember, Askew probably didn't have the best with those Cooper tires after flat spotting him at the beginning of the race. Harrison Scott, still very good coming home ninth. Can you, and those were all mistakes. So race number 2 is going to be amazing.
Let's get Kimball's input. Brand new race car, PM18, new car, new engine. Ta-da! What a race.
You bought the whole seat, but you only needed the edge.
That's it. That was it.
It's unbelievable. Again, the talent on display here. We got $700,000 scholarship at stake, and these young men showed that they really are hungry for it, and they want to move up to Indy Lights. Fantastic race.
Bottom line is, I think the future of the Verizon IndyCar Series is in good hands with the Mazda Road to Indy. Michael Young, Kyle Kimball, thank you so much for joining us. What a race. Renus VK, Parker Thompson, and Robert McGinnis, your podium finishers in Pro Mazda.
Yeah, it was a great race from P8 to P1, similar to last year's first race, but I couldn't do it now without the help of my team Junkos Racing. Without that car, I wouldn't be standing here, so I really want to thank them. And yeah, the car was just quick enough to win. I drove well, and yeah, I really want to thank them for that.